Hey guys, this is like the third time I'm going to try to do this video, but I probably should have done it with one of my software things instead of YouTube's uploader. But anyways, I'll just have a little note that I'm going to be doing more scripted out videos from now on. Or not from now on, but in a couple more videos, or 5 or 6 more videos, I'll probably be doing more scripted videos. But and I'm just trying to learn the software that I just bought and everything. So this video I've been thinking about doing for a long time. So one of the things that has bothered me subscribing to a lot of like more left-wing things on Facebook and so forth, and groups, being parts of groups, and liking things on Facebook is every once in a while there's some kind of article that's pointed against Ayn Rand, and it's very jaded and lacks nuance or any kind of even explanation a lot of the time about what they say. So, like, I'll give you an example. So, like, BuzzFeed recently had something about Ayn Rand was an evil, sociopathic bitch, blah, 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 blah. There's just all this shit about Ayn Rand. So, I read this stuff, and as a person who's actually read a few books by her, I'm kind of offended by, and kind of, I just don't, I'm kind of shocked that they're so, not dismissive, but just the level of journalism involved in these articles are just it's just shit. It's sensationalist bullshit. So I'm gonna come out and say that I like a lot of Ayn Rand's ideas. I like some of her, individual versus the masses, and doing what you want to do in life, and kind of pursuing your own dreams and your own goals. And that's what I read from the Fountainhead. And you can take that as you will. There was a lot of problematic things within the Fountainhead. Some of the sexuality was very maybe antiquated in a certain way that people will question. A lot of people question some of the scenes as being sort of. They said it was rape as far as one of the scenes, but I would say that it really wasn't a rape, but it was very much like a romance novel where the man's taking the woman and seducing her, or pushing forward. It's this weird dynamic, these tropes that were probably common at the time, and are kind of translated over to even Stephanie Meyer or 50 Shades of Grey in a weird way. Maybe she was kind of ahead of her time, but I would think it was probably her fantasy in a certain way, translated onto the page, and I have problems with that, problems with that scene, even though the scene is, I would say I have problems looking at it from either perspective. That's people that say it's not rape, and there are people that say it's just evil, it's horrible rape. There's a nuance there to be had for that. Those problematic things about Ayn Rand's books in general with regards to sexuality. But I've read 2 of her books, and I'm currently reading Atlas Shrugged, and I like a lot of what she has to say. I think the collectivism, as far as how it's defined by her, isn't really how I would define it, but the excesses of the left, or so-called collectivists, she is definitely dead on about. So, I mean, even though maybe her prescription isn't so good, or sustainable or realistic or practical, but as far as the Fountainhead goes, I don't think there's a lot of politics or economics to be had in that. It's more of a philosophical thing. So that's why I kind of identified with that. You have this architect that just, he's doing something that's unpopular, and nobody's accepting his work hardly, and he slaves that day after day, hardly making any money. By the way, that's kind of ironic for people that attack Ayn Rand for being some evil capitalist bitch, when Howard Roark is just like not selling out for money. So I mean, that was one thing that really, surprises me. But there's a lot of intricacies and nuance in Ayn Rand's work that people just miss. And people that attack it outright without, you could attack certain elements of it, obviously, but if you just say that she was just one thing or had one belief and it's just totally wrong, it's disingenuous, to say the least. Now, I think she was very traumatized by her time in the Soviet Union, when she was where she was from, And so she went the opposite way, maybe to a certain extreme that maybe was a little bit too far. So that's all I really got to say. Please comment if you're interested in debating some of these things, or saying, if you want to actually say that Ayn Rand's an evil sociopathic bitch who influenced people in a bad way, then you can have at it. But I just disagree that all of her ideas were bad, or that even some of her ideas that are criticized were that as bad as people have to say about it. So that's all for this video. I may talk about the subject more in the future, especially in a more organized way, but I just wanted to say that I liked some of her ideas. I dislike other ones. It's a very controversial subject and controversial author, so that's why I started reading her. But I am interested in a lot of different ideas and exploring different ideas. So that's all.